Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? Guys, let's talk about that success out of the raise that edge. Um, guys, I have some mixed feelings about this, and I can tell a lot of people do as well. But I feel there's going to be a large majority of people that do not care for this. And if they do care for it, they're just hoping that something much, much better is coming after this. But this is kind of what I was alluding to in my first reviews when I was just saying that this uh, gives me the vibes of a show that wants to be kind of thorough with everything it brings to the table that's brand new. So, for instance, they could have just been like, yeah, this area of people in the past episodes where we were in the forest, we didn't need to know other factions that could be at work and all that other stuff until maybe something happened. But instead of doing that, they spent quite a bit of time explaining all of it so we have a good understanding going into this village that not only are there people against what we uh, what we've been seeing our main characters do, like having sorcery, they're against being, even near those types of people or dealing with them, and here they come trot-a-lotting into the forest to pretty much meet them up. So we just see that there's some bad blood between all of them. So it was even more important to see that and understand why the show can just you flip a dime and all of a sudden it lands on heads and it's like, oh well, you're getting attacked by these random people that hate you for being a sorcerer, and you know why they hate you for being a sorcerer, and So I felt that type of vibe off this show. Like everything is relatively explained deeply, so for them to go into this weird past self and have him doing exactly what the people of this town wanted him doing. This could be some weird black and white sorcery magic put together, maybe like something just be or something even different than that. And the one thing that kind of remnants back or that kind of shows what could be going on is the girl that our main character tried to get out of Child Man's body or just destroy her in general. It looked like it was like a double-sided edge blade, so it doesn't even look like he used like the brawn side of the blade. It looks like he actually took her out, but there's no blood and stuff. And we know this show is not afraid to show blood, so she's definitely doing what he showed us in a little bit of time. It did show, but it sounds like she's trying to get her time back, which I don't. Why does that involve a 5 year ago version of him and not like anything else, right? Like what is it about him that was it? And I think which makes the most sense in that case is 5 years ago everybody in Childman's class and beyond believed and knew well, not some people didn't believe, but they knew that there is capability for him to be the successor. Like they always could feel it, but then there's certain people in there that knew beyond a doubt that this person is for sure the successor if he actually tries. And to have that type of, I want to say, um, just not glow is not the word I'm looking for, but credentials or something along those lines, right? Like something where you're just, if I say, oh, I could beat anybody, they're like, no, you can't beat this guy because they just know how much or what he's been through, what he's, got in line for him and stuff like that. So when it comes to us learning this information, and knowing that our main character probably didn't take out the one girl that, was his sister, even if she is in his master's body, he saw her just as the sister once he figured it out, right? Like, he didn't even see himself taking out Childman. He saw himself taking out Azurin or Azura. Um, so that was cool. And then it it then shows us a little bit of her saying, "I'm gonna get my time. I'm gonna get the time back, or like change the time back." I should look at the screenshot. It was like the only real thing in the show that kind of gave me some concrete detail of what I thought was going on, but I feel like this is more of a go for the ride type of deal. I did say they like to be thorough and whatnot, but I could see this one being a lot looser because in my mind, this is just somebody who's ridiculously talented and this and that. But when they go as far to tell us that this is him 5 years ago and he's even stronger than he is right now, so somehow they've already balanced. Oh well, no, not even did that. Our main character straight up got bopped in the before they wound up back in the town because she had to show up to give him backup, and that's the reason why he left. Oh, I don't think I could take on two of Childman's classmates. So that's that's the weird stuff about this is we also know that some of his classmates felt like they were supposed to be bigger main characters, with them showing up a lot more in flashbacks, getting like always just a reintroduction to everything they're about or how they carry themselves. And we know one of them got straight up roasted in a fire during the dragon fight. So it would be weird if maybe the magic was used on him. See, and that's where everything gets thrown off. Like it has to either be him or someone that they never heard of is as skilled as him and better, right? Like, and changed his face. Like, there's teleportation magic. There's swords that turn dragons or humans into dragons or whatever the heck that was. The thing I thought of, but then didn't make sense, is she came back and took his body from 5 years ago and then came to the present. Like, not even, like what is going on? Because she was one of the more talented people as well who could keep up with him, but maybe she wanted him to be the successor that they wanted him to be, so she didn't even have to deal with the sword. And once he got the sword, maybe the whole dragon issue wouldn't have happened. That's what went through my mind, but it just didn't make sense how they would get to that point. Like, how is she stronger than him? How is she him and he still exists in the future? Like how's the past and the present exist together? And yeah, so I was just seeing that on the whole, like people dropping in and stuff. I was just seeing people already being like, this is confusing and boring. I was like, you're confused at the plot because so much different stuff's going on and they're not just being obviously telling you, because it's not going to be confusing after they tell you everything like in every show ever made. But you're bored now because you're confused, or are you bored because you think the show is actually boring now, but it was good enough to confuse the audience for this arc? You know what I mean? So there's a weird disconnect with me and how people are already seeing this. Like, I'm confused too, and I watched all the episodes and talked about them and had people talk to me about this show and that the 90s ones exist as well. So, sure, if you want to go and watch the 90s ones, from what I'm hearing, this is just a remastered. So it's going to be practically the exact same story. So you could see what this is all about and then, not feel confused, but are you going to still be bored? I don't know. That was weird to me to see. But I digress because I don't think any of my anime people are going to be that bored with it over something trivial as this is confusing. Like, that's what we want over here, or at least some of us, like, we want something where all of a sudden we're watching it. We think we know how powerful our character is. We think we know he's the only one that should ever exist. And for some reason, another version of him pops up that's slapping him. Not only that, spitting out darts that could put people to sleep. Um, this week's episode really focused on Trish, and I don't think I appreciate that too much because it just gives her more reason to hold a candle of light to our character's anger or something. Hopefully she does not get caught up in this. She knows that Orphen is weaker than this guy, so it also kind of just rears its ugly head. Are you going to let your brother, your orphan brother, go and really fight someone you know he's weaker than. I understand there's someone who's a hostage, but are you going to be the reason why he gets caught up even more because he can't protect you and her? You know, so I think it's getting good. This is really smart. It's going to show us another side of hopefully this character who's probably been holding back ever for 5 years just on the search, not really putting forth his skills. That's why she thinks this one's probably stronger than him because I mean he just has a lot more will to he wasn't killing people. This was a person who did not kill. So what do you think of his, abilities if he never kills? They're not strong. Like you can't kill anybody, you're holding back all the time because you don't want to kill. Okay, your abilities are weak, you know? That's simple. So now that this assassin version of him is here, we're gonna see just if the weaker gentle one is stronger than an assassin because of intelligence, because of experience, because of whatever. So, with all that being said, everybody, I hope you have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. Black Clover was another filler episode, and or not filler, recap, and I might do like a 2 second long video for it just to prove the point of like, what did you want me to say about this? Like, but I don't know. I might just leave my thing unscathed from the reviewed episodes. So with all that being said, everybody, have an awesome one. Take care. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.